Libra could even start drama. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hi. Because I know you've been here before and you came back and I'm blushing or whatever. So yeah. Hello beautiful people of the internet, it is your girl here, Emmy. I'm your host, clearly, for today's Mercury series. First, before I go any further, you know what to do. You don't hit that subscribe button, because if you're gonna come back and I know you're coming back, why are you not subscribing? Because you know that helps me out, right? And after you subscribe, if you scroll down a little bit more in the description box, you will see an Etsy link. Yes, I said Etsy link. There are candles that are for sale. It is the holiday season. It is the winter. I know you're feeling cold. I know you're feeling the need to be cozied. I know you're trying to set the mood for your lovers, for your one-night friends, okay? And what better way to do that with some lovely, beautifully scented, Emmy has picked out candles that are available for you for under $10. Help me out. Don't you see a girl out here trying to hustle? So, if self-care is the vibe that you're looking for, Emmy can provide. Hit the link. Hit the Etsy link. Sweet Tart candles are available in the link right below. Check them out. At least look at them. At least star the page. And at least thumbs up this video. Come on, work with me here. I take the time out of my day and read you. All I'm asking is for a thumbs up, a subscribe, a click on my Etsy link. Okay, now that I got that out the way, the Mercury series. Mercury, if you don't know what Mercury represents, Mercury is the planet of thought, communication. She is always in retrograde. I'm sure you've heard of a Mercury retrograde by now, but Mercury, she rules Virgo and Gemini, okay? Both very thought-oriented and mental stimulating, requiring signs. So Mercury is the planet of communication. It rules the mind. It's how you internalize things, how you think, the way you talk, how you learn. So if you're trying to understand how a person thinks and how to communicate with them, then you want to take a look at their Mercury sign. Just a refresher, the sun is your ego. Your moon is your emotional state, how you feel, how you find comfort. Your rising sign is how you are perceived, how you come off, and the way you look. Your Venus sign is how you love. Mars is how you go about things, your action, your drive. Mercury is how you think. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's move into the next sign. A Libra Mercury. Libra is ruled by the scales, right? So you are all about balance. So you're naturally, when you think in a way of the middle ground. You're always seeing both sides of situations, and you're also just naturally trying to find the middle ground. That's just how your mind works. Libra Mercuries, you're very pleasant people. You're nice to be around. You speak in a very pleasant way. You might have a nice demeanor or voice. Your body language is probably very poised depending on your rising sign, but you like to be around people and people like to be around you. You know, Libra is the house of relationships. So you feel better or you think better when you're having a conversation. Sometimes you might need to have a conversation or talk something out to bounce back ideas. I think you just need that bounce back in a communication. You probably work really well in a team. You probably prefer working in a team rather than on your own, just because of that bounce back that can happen. I don't really know how else to describe it. This is a social sign, depending on your Mars. You do like to be in the mix. You are a bit more extroverted. You know, you're not afraid to talk to people. This is very flirty, sweet energy, but at the same time, it is very intellectual. So you do like having, intellectual conversations. You are an air sign. You are a cardinal sign. So a leader, you might also be really interested in the justice system or just justice, injustice, righting wrongs in that way, or legal system. You might have interest in the arts, in fashion, relationships even. You might be really into relationship coach type, learning about things like that, or just things about relationships. I don't know what else that would be, but You get my drift. Being that you are the house of relationships, you value your friendships and family a lot. You may also, like, kind of like what I was saying, like bouncing back ideas and being in the house of relationships, it might be hard for you to spend time alone, or like you might not like being alone for too long of a period, or you're like, even if you are alone, you're probably like on the phone with somebody, like just needing like that other half, needing that like other, just another voice to talk to, another person to talk to. Making decisions, or like decision fatigue, you probably get decision fatigue very easily. It could be hard to make decisions for you. It's not that you can't make a decision just like quickly, it's not really your forte. I've noticed Libra placements, whenever they need to make a decision, they will ask multiple people around them what they would do, or like just like bring up the topic to people around them to kind of just like get a better, like, I guess because you value your relationships, you just want to hear another person's side. I think you just like gather that information before figuring out what you would do yourself, which I mean, like, is not a bad thing. If you have those people you trust that you turn to, you know, what would you do? It can be bad when it becomes like a codependent thing, or it's like you're just calling people like, should I get the red or the blue? It's like, girl, you should be able to make that decision on your own. The opposite of you is Aries. Aries is all about self, you know, making decisions for yourself, saying no. You like to be liked, and you are liked. You can have a hard time hurting people's feelings or saying no. Like, you might overextend yourself with people, or overcommit to things just because you don't like saying no to people. So that's where like Aries and being all about self and not being afraid to set those boundaries can be very beneficial for you to learn from. Just like how they can learn how to step outside themselves and think about their relationships more, you know, it goes both ways. But yeah, even though you do turn to the people around you, if it's something that's not a small decision, like, regardless, like, you do make the right decision. Like, you're very good at seeing both sides. You know, you look at other people's, that you care about, like what they had to say, you weigh all that together, and you normally do make right decisions. It's just that codependency, that extreme level of like, you're calling people to make any decision for you, like that's when it's like, okay, girl, no. Regardless, you do end up making good decisions. You just have a hard time making decisions on the spot. With that being said, you might be one that likes, because you are intellectual, you are air sign, you might like to debate. You might even like to provoke people by playing devil's advocate, just because you are able to just see like both sides so well. You know, you do like a little bit of drama, okay? So you're always here to hear the tea. You know, underdeveloped Libra could even, you know, spill tea or like start drama. Kind of like what I was saying with the Aries, and not good at like, you know, just saying no. You're very careful with your words. You're very careful of, you know, the words that you say to other people, because you don't want to offend anybody. You're not really the type to be assertive, depending on, you know, your other placements, but naturally like a Libra Mercury would be somebody that's not very assertive. You just have a lot of value on like compromising. Like, you care a lot about compromising with people. You're not really the type that's like quick to jump to conclusions. You know, you're really just like weighing out both sides. Like, okay, like, why did this happen or whatever. Like, you're just like very good at being fair and reasonable, and that's definitely something that like we don't see today. Like, you're a cardinal air sign, which means you're naturally a leader, and even though you may be somebody that fears leadership, like an Aries, you know, they're always gonna, like, one of the things that gets people in leadership positions is because they talk and they speak their mind. That's Aries. But the thing that would make you a different type of leader than an Aries is because you're going to be that leader that's thinking about what everybody else needs, if that makes sense. Like, you're going to be like really like caring for your team, caring for whoever you're looking out for. Like, you would look out for everyone versus just being like self-interested. You know those managers that are very cool that people like, the likable manager, like that's very you. I think I kind of touched on like the wanting to be liked. You will go out of your way for other people, which isn't a bad thing, but it is when you overextend yourself for people. You might also have the tendency to like sugarcoat things, or like, you know, give a little white lies just because you want to spare people's feelings. Fine line sugarcoating and telling white lies, but yeah, you just like don't want to hurt people's feelings. Libra Mercury, you're a likable person, so you probably have a lot of friends that are different than you. This does depend on the rest of your chart. Like, if you're somebody who has like a Scorpio sun, this might not be the case. But if you're somebody with like a Libra sun, you might be one that's like just very like open to talking to people. You know, you might like being out and about. You just feel better when you're in like social settings, you know, just being able to really just talk and share your ideas with other people. With that formula, like being someone that likes to be out and being a likable person, like you probably have a lot of friends, or at least a lot of like associates. Like you might just know a lot of people. You might be very good at like networking, things like that. Or you could be the type that's just like always in a relationship. Like if you don't have like a lot of friends, you might be someone that like just like always has a best friend, or always like in a romantic relationship. Like you just crave relationships, romantic, platonic. You just like find them so beautiful. You just like learning from people in that way. You might even attract people who are a lot more assertive, people who are very like confident in making decisions, or people that have their own opinion. You do have your own opinions. It's just like you're not very like vocal on sharing them. I think that's kind of like what it is. I think just like learning not to care about what other people think will be very beneficial. Not caring about what other people think about you, but like just figure out your non-negotiables. Like figure out what is it that you live by, I guess. And like you're so considerate of other people, but people aren't like that. You know, you really have to, if you're not going to speak up for yourself, nobody will, type of thing. So really just like stand your ground. Stand your ground. Yeah, and learn how to be a little bit more assertive. But yeah, I think on that note, I think that's everything that I have for a Libra Mercury. Comment down below, let me know if I forgot anything. I probably did. I hope I didn't say too many negatives. I don't really know. But yeah, thanks for watching, and okay, bye. Oh wait, like and subscribe to my channel if you're not.